We welcome you all back, whoever is joining us. Just a quick introduction into Giving Bible Studies. I wanted to share with you something that I've learned in evangelism school, and this is called the evangelism cycle. This is my little chalkboard and my little marker. This was the best that I could do at the moment. So let me do this real quick, and I'm gonna try to zoom this in at the appointed time. Oh, I messed up already. Ah, I already messed up. The evangelism cycle. 2, 3, 4. It's not the best drawing, but I tried. So, this is what I'm working with. This is the evangelism cycle. All right. Hopefully that came out clear. Step one of our evangelism cycle is what we would call daily revival. What did I say? Daily revival. Write that down. This is your personal devotion time. This is your prayer and your study life. How is your journey and your walk with the Lord going? Are you spending time in prayer and in study with God? Your daily revival. This is your prayer and study life. This thing is probably not going to be able to see it clearly, but I'm trying. I'll bring it close enough towards the end of this segment. Um, Now, this is one of the most important steps because you can't give somebody something you don't have. You can't shine light to others if you don't have any light. You must be connected to the main power source. You must be connected to Christ in order to share Christ with others. So make sure you are connected to the power source. Daily revival. Your prayer and your study life matters. If you do not perfect your prayer and your study life, everything else will fall apart. If you are not spending time in prayer and in study, everything will fall apart. So your prayer and your study life is very important. Number two is what we would call friendship evangelism. Friendship evangelism. Once again, this is probably not going to be able to see it all, but I'm trying my best. And this is as simple as this: your circle of influence. Who are you surrounding yourself with on a day to day basis? What kind of friends do you hang around? Are these friends encouraging you in the Lord? Or are these friends discouraging you? Are these friends drawing you closer to Christ? Or are these friends drawing you away from Christ? You who are to be set apart and you who are to make a difference, are you being a good witness to those who you spend time with on a day to day basis? Are you shining the light of Christ to those who you hang around with? When people look at you, can they honestly testify and say, yes, I've experienced or I had an encounter with Christ. I see Christ dwelling in you. Or do they see something else in you? What do others see in you? Or what are you revealing to others through you? Friendship evangelism. Those who are near to you, those who you spend time with, hang around with, how can you evangelize? How can you witness to them? How can you share the love of Christ to them? How can you share God with them in a way that will draw them closer to God? Once again, what kind of company are you keeping? Are these people drawing you closer to God, or are they drawing you away from God? Are they strengthening you in faith, or are they bringing doubts to your faith? And it is very important for us to be mindful of the people we surround ourselves with. Be mindful of the friends we keep. It is important for us to be mindful of those who we call friends. Number three. Number three would be to teach and preach. To teach and preach. Let me make that a little better. We are all called to be witnesses for Christ. We are called to shine our light. Christ says, let your light so shine. Do not cover it under a basket, but what? Set it on a candlestick. I love that word there that says candlestick because it reminds me of Revelations where the candlestick was a symbol of what? The church. Set it up on a candlestick that it may give light to the whole house. He says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your works, your good works, and glorify whom? The Father who is in heaven. So, teach and preach. And this can be done both in public or in what? Private. So this is where you begin to volunteer, do some missionary work, do some work in church, do something where you can shine your light, where you can be a witness to others. Hey, if you can't preach, can you teach? If you can't teach or preach, can you sing? If you can't sing, teach, or preach, what can you do that will bring glory and honor to the Lord? How can you volunteer? Go on a mission trip. Help out where you need to help out. Help out where you can help. Go on a mission trip. Shine your light wheresoever you may go. So, teach and preach. Shine the light of God to all those you come in contact with. And like I said, this can be done privately or publicly. You can teach publicly or you can teach privately. What about in-home studies? You can do studies with your siblings. You can do studies with your friends in your homes. Teach and preach privately or publicly. But it is important for us to always be a witness and always shine our light. As Paul will say, be ready in season and what? And out of season. Praise the Lord. Number 4 is to baptize and what? And nurture. That is to train new believers. To what? To train new believers. What are you going to train them? You're going to train them to do the evangelism cycle. You're going to train them to do what you were trained to do. That is the whole beautiful reality and the aspect of the Great Commission. Go and preach to all nations, baptize them in the name of the Father and the Son and of the Holy Ghost. Then he says what? Teach them to observe all things that I have commanded you. Teach them to observe. He's not asking them to teach them anything new. That's not what Christ asks us to do when he gives us the Great Commission. Not to teach them anything new. No, teach them to observe what I have commanded you. You observe the law. This is one of my favorite verses. You observe the law of God. what I have commanded, the commandments, you teach them to observe the law. It's beautiful. Teach them to observe. That's just a whole different study, especially when you get into the study of the Sabbath and the commandments. Were they done away with at the cross, or do they still abide? But teach them to observe whatsoever I have commanded you. So, once again, step one, daily revival. Let me bring that close enough for you. Hopefully, the camera clears up, but I'm not banking on that. I'm going to try my best to give a better picture of this. Daily revival, number one, prayer and your study life. Friendship evangelism, your circle of influence. How can you evangelize or witness for God to the friends that you hang around with on a day to day basis? Teach and preach the word. Go out in public or in private. Teach and preach the word. Do your own little private Bible studies. Or go to church and find a way to witness to others. Go on a mission trip, find a way to witness to others. And back to friendship evangelism, you don't have to travel thousands of miles to find a friend to evangelize to. Use your circle of influence. Use those within a 10-mile radius of your home. There are some people, they've been living in the place where they're living, whether if it's an apartment or a home, you've been living in that area for years. And there are other people who live there and they don't even know who you are. You need to go out some more. You need to befriend people some more. And you need to evangelize some more. So, friendship evangelism, those within your radius, befriend them. Share the love of God with them. And I'm guilty of the very same thing. I'm here in this area where I live, and there's not a single soul that knows me. It's easy for us to become discreet and all shy, or I don't want to talk to people. It's easy for us to be trapped into this little bubble of ours. But sometimes you gotta go outside your comfort zone in order to share the love of God with others. Sometimes you gotta go out of your comfort zone. You gotta reach out to someone, even though you don't want to talk to someone. Sometimes you gotta go out and share the love of God with them. You never know. Probably it will make a big difference. One of the lessons I previously learned, was that it pays to be nice to others. It pays to be nice to others. There was someone who was sharing a testimony with me. They said it was their first time coming to a church, and had that one person that they met at this church not been nice to them, they would have never considered coming back. But they chose to come back to church because there was one person, one individual, who was nice to them. It pays to be nice to others. Shine your light to others. So teach and preach public or private evangelism, and then baptize and nurture. Win the souls of men. Draw them closer to Christ. Bring them to the Lord. Baptize and nurture. Teach them. Train them in the very same subjects that you were taught. Pardon me. Train them in the very same subjects that you were trained in. Teach them of the evangelism cycle. Teach them how to do what you were taught to do. Teach them how to do their daily devotions. Or teach them how you do your daily devotions. It's not set in a way that they must do it how you do it. No. God is going to lead us through His Word. However He chooses to lead us through His Word. He may not lead me through the Word as He would lead someone else through the Word. But nevertheless, He is going to bring you to the very same point. And He's going to bring me to the very same point at the appointed time. However He chooses to do it. So baptize, nurture, and train them. Train new believers to do the very same evangelism cycle. So once again, let me write this down. 1. Daily revival. 2, friendship evangelism. 3 was what? Teach and preach. And 4 was what? Baptize, nurture, and train new believers. This is your evangelism cycle. Hopefully the camera catches that. If not, I will type it up somehow for you by God's grace. Let us keep faithful until Jesus come. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow by God's grace. May the Lord bless you and keep you.